Welcome to Tribrid Hub, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we are going to look at Introduction to Web Development. Now, this session is brought to you by TyronNet and Tribrid Hub. But before we continue, I would like to show you some incentives about web development. Now, working as a web developer, you can earn up to 52,000 Ghana cedis. That is if you find yourself in a good company in Ghana. But averagely, you can earn 24,820 Ghana cedis per month. Now, the base salary is 2,500 Ghana cedis per month, plus the incentives, then the bonus, and then the profits add up to the 24,000 Ghana cedis per month, plus your side hustle that you'll be doing. Now, looking at the foreign countries, based on 2022 reports, the average base pay is 68,524 US dollars. So it involves a lot of work, and the payment is also high. So when you learn this course very well, you are at the tips of getting a better payment and a good life. So I'll entreat that everyone takes this course seriously, since it is no joke. It requires much sacrifice and much time. So one may ask, what is web development? So when we say web development, we are talking about the work involved in developing a website for the internet, that's the World Wide Web, or an intranet, that's the private network. So this web development ranges from simple static page, that is our resume website that we've been creating, to complex web application, that is the Yahoo, the file conversion, let's say PDF to Word, Word to PDF, and all the rest. So that's the complex web applications. Then we have the electronic businesses, that is the Amazon, e-commerce, and the rest. And finally, we have the social network services, that is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and the rest. So that's the ranges of website development. Okay, so web development usually refers to the main non-design aspect of building websites, that's writing markups and coding. Okay, so that's the main aspect of web development. So when we talk of web development, it includes web engineering, web design, network security, web content development, web servers, and many more. Okay, web development involves a lot of activities. There are three kinds of web developer specialization. So we have the front end development. So this front end development, they are responsible for the behavior and the visuals that runs in the user browser. So this involves the use of HTML, CSS, and then the JavaScript. So if you want to become a front-end developer, You must master these skills. Then the second type of web development specialization is the back-end development. With the back-end development, they deal with servers. So programs like PHP, Java, and Net are the skills you have to get in becoming a back-end web development. Now, we also have the third type, which is the full stack development. With the full stack development, you have to combine the skills of the front end development and then the back end development. So those are the three types of web development. Now, there are tons of programming language used for web development. We have the Pascal, we have the Node, we have the PHP, we have the Visual Studio Code. Like there are many of them. There are tons of them. Okay, so it's up to you, the developer, to learn these languages. So, how does websites work on the internet? Now, for you to know how websites work on the internet, you first of all have to know the components of websites. And there are three components of websites. That's web page file, servers, and web browser. So looking at the web page files, we have the CSS, HTML, JavaScript, images, and videos. So this shows how the website will look like and how it will function. The web page files, since they are the building blocks of the websites. And then we have the servers. So with the servers, it is a computer that is linked to the internet, and it stores all the files needed to run the website. That's the server. So the images here are the server rooms. Okay. So the third aspect is the web browser. So with the web browser there, it runs on the computer or phone. Okay. So, and as it is running on your computer or phone, it will properly render the web page files based on your browsing server. So based on the server you are using, then the web page files will be rendered on your computer or your phone. So the way it works is that when they say, for example, you go to your Google Chrome and you search for images. Now, this will query the server for images, since the server stores all the files or data. So it will go to the database and then it will start searching for all the images. Let's say, for example, shirts, t-shirts, shirt images. So the server will provide all shirt images to the browser, and it will be displayed on the user end. And before the server can get those database, it will come from the web page files. That's the information which will be given to store. So that's how it works. Now let's look at the three main types of web files. We have the HTML, that's hypertext markup language. We have the CSS, that's and we have the JavaScript. Now, the HTML is the foundation of every website. So this HTML holds text, titles, links, and images. So that's the function of the HTML. So it holds the text, titles, and images of the website. And then it's like the basic building block. And then the CSS. The CSS defines the styles and or the looks of the HTML or the web page. So you see the HTML has this diagram here, and the CSS added flesh to it by coloring it. So that's the style or the look of the HTML or the web page. And then the JavaScript will make it, that's the web, it will make the web interactive. So you see we have a closed window and an open window. So it is the function of the JavaScript. So me scrolling up and down is also the function of the JavaScript. So it makes the web page very interactive. Okay, before you code or write your markups, you need, let's say, a cooking pot. And this cooking pot is what we term as ID, that's Integrated Development Environment. So this environment is where you build your codes. So IDE is a software for building application that combines common developer tools into a single graphical user interface. So this is where this an environment where all the codes will be coded. So in our lessons, we are going to use the Visual Studio Code. So there are many of the IDE to be used. We have the Eclipse and then the NetBeans. There are many of them, but in our case, we are going to use the Visual Studio Code. Now let's look at elements, tags, and functions. So elements of HTML is this text you are seeing, HTML. They are the elements, and the tags are the text in a less than and then a greater than. So this is an opening tag, the less than HTML greater than, and it is called an opening tag. Now the less than slash HTML greater than is called a closing tag. Now some tags are just a single tag, like the break tag, the paragraph tag, and then the horizontal rule tag. Some of them have an opening tag and a closing tag. So these are some examples of tags and their function. So the I tag is to set in italics. So with this, your letters will be seen in italics. The B tag is set in boldface. So with this, your text will be seen in boldface form. So that is that for the elements, tags, and functions of HTML. Read more on them and practice more. Now, let's look at the basic structure. Now, with the basic HTML structure, we have the DOCTYPE HTML, the language, that's the HTML lang, the head, the meta cassette, and the title, and then the body. So basically, a page has elements, that's the HTML, the head, and the body. But there is a fourth type, which is the DOCTYPE HTML. Now, this DOCTYPE HTML is a declaration. Okay, so it's a declaration, and it defines the document type to be the HTML. Okay, so now this DOCTYPE is the first element of an HTML page and must be the first thing in the HTML file. So as you can see in this basic HTML structure, you see our first element is the DOCTYPE HTML. Then we come to the HTML element itself. Now this HTML element tells the browser that all the codes in the HTML file is going to be HTML. So when you look at here, we have the lang equals en. So this lang equals en is an attribute, and it is used to identify the language of text content on the web page. Okay, the language of text content of the web page. So this information helps search engines return language specification results, and it is also used by screen readers that switch languages profiles to provide the correct accent and pronunciation of the web page or the website. Now we have the head element here. So with the head element, information in the head element is never displayed in the browser. Information in the head element is never displayed in the browser. So you see this head element, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. The information will never be displayed in this head element, but it is used to set the description of the page. It is used to set the description of the page, and we have the meta character set. So this first meta tag holds the character set. This is the character set. That's character set 18. Now this UTF-18 is the U stands for Unicode, and the T stands for transformation, and the F stands for format. The 8 is 8 bits, and is a variable with character encoding used for electronic communication. It has about 1 billion characters. So you see the head tag, we are using it to describe the web page. Now, the character set here is used to display an HTML page correctly. The web browser must know the character set used in the web page. So the second meta tag holds the viewports. When you are not careful, you think it is viewpoint, but it is rather viewport. So it holds the viewport element, which gives the browser instructions on how to control the page's dimension and scaling. So that's the function of this viewport. And then the width device width part sets the width of the page to the screen's width of the device. So looking at my laptop, the width of the laptop is going to be equal to the content of the web page. So you wouldn't see the content to be very small in the middle of the screen, but rather it will occupy the width of the screen. So that's the function of the width equals device width. Now let's look at the initial scale equals 1.0. So this part sets the initial zoom level when the page is first loaded by the browser. So the web page, the first page the web browser shows is the initial scale, which is the 1.0 before you zoom it to your own scaling. Now let's look at the title element. So this title element Every text between this title tag provides the title for the document. So this will be displayed at the title bar of the website. Look at the body element. So with the body element, it contains all the information. It contains all the informations we want to include in the web browser. For example, the text, the images, and videos are going to be in the body element. And the body element is only one. So there was supposed to be a closing tag here. A closing tag here for the body element. So H1 is the heading, P the paragraph. So the information in the body will be seen in the body tag. So not wasting much of your time, this is the introduction aspect of web development. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content. We'll be bringing to you the practical aspect of web development. Stay tuned. Thank you.